Hello everyone, in this session we will study about inheritance. Inheritance simply means you inherit the properties of your father. So you have some of your own properties, your unique properties, plus you are inheriting the properties of your parents. Same concept applied here also. One class can inherit the properties of another class. Clear? Now let me show you the code. Here I have created a vehicle class which has a constructor, see, and one method display info. Now I have created another class which will be inheriting the properties of vehicle class. That means car will have all the properties written inside the vehicle class. That means if you create any object of car class, you can access this constructor, you can access this method or anything else. Clear? So here vehicle from which you are accessing the properties. This is known as parent class. Like we inherit the properties from our parents. Same car, that is the child class. Who is inheriting is the child class. So you can see I have already created a vehicle class. Now inside the car class, simply I write nothing. I can give pass. Now how can we inherit the properties? Car can inherit the properties of vehicle by passing the class name as arguments. Clear? If you write in this way, car in bracket vehicle, that denotes that car is inheriting all the properties of vehicle class. Clear? Now let me create an object. My car equals to car. See here I have written nothing inside the car, but I have inherited the properties of vehicle. So I can access all the things inside the vehicle. Let me pass some arguments. Toyota. Now let me write Camry. Okay. My car dot display info. So it will call the display info function. Clear. So here vehicle is the parent class, car is the child class, car is inheriting all the properties of vehicle class. Now I will add something inside the car class also. Okay. See here I have written it. Here I have created a vehicle class. The same one. Car. Inheriting the properties of vehicle. Here I have created a constructor within a car class. Now the question is that if I create an object of a car class, which constructor will be executed? Of the car class or of the vehicle class? Because in both the class I have written a constructor. I have used this super method. That means it will first call the constructor of the car class. And now it will see that here it is written as super. That means you have to inherit these properties as well. So in the car class, you have the properties of constructor of vehicle class plus you have added something. Okay. So as of now, I can say within car class, I have self.make equals to make, self.model equals to model, self.color equals to color. Clear? So what is the benefit? That you do not need to repeat those things. You just write a simple keyword that is super and automatically everything will be inherited. If you have 10, 12, many attributes, you don't no need to write anything. Just write the super class. Automatically everything will be inherited in the constructor of the car class. Clear? Now I have also created a display info method. Same. So this method will also inherit all the properties of this class because I have used the super keyword plus I have added something. Okay. So I have inherited all the properties of my parents. Something I have also gained some properties. Clear? So now if I create an object like my car and I have to pass all the parameters total, make, model, color, all these three parameters because here I am passing make model to the parent class. So I have to pass all the three parameters. So how will it execute? Simply object will be created. My car is a reference of self, Toyota, make, Camry, model, blue, color. Again, it will go to the next line. Super.init. Super means it will see for its parent class. Parent is vehicle. So it will go for the constructor of the parent class. Here it will send the make and model. That means Toyota and Camry. So it will be passed make Toyota model Camry. Then self.make equals to make. That means For this reference, for my car, the make will be Toyota, the model will be Camry. Okay. Next line, in the next line, I am calling the display info method. Same, it will go here in this section. Now it will see that there is a super method. That means it is calling the parent class. That is the vehicle. Now it will go inside the vehicle class. It will say there is also a display info method. It will pass the object. That is the my car object. Now it will print these things. Once it is printed, it will again come back to the calling code to this line super.display info. Now the next line will be executed, that is self.color. Color was set here in this line. Color is blue, so blue will be printed. Clear? Let me run this for you. Okay, simply it's just inheriting all the properties. So this is the inheritance property of O. Now inheritance is of four types. Here we have understood the single inheritance. That means you are just inheriting the properties of your father. Clear? This is known as single inheritance. Let me draw it for you. Here, this is your father. You are inheriting all the properties of your father and like this. So there is a single inheritance. Now there are other types of inheritance like multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance. What is multiple inheritance? Multiple inheritance means you have your mother also. So you just inherit the properties of your mother also, not from your father only. You are getting from her also. That is what is known as multiple inheritance. Clear? What is multi-level then? Multi-level means you are inheriting from your father. Okay, fine. That is single level. But your father is also inheriting from his father. That is your grandfather. So there is an inheritance of different levels. That is what is known as multi-level inheritance. Clear? Your father is inheriting from his father, your grandfather. You are inheriting from your father. So there is more than one level, what is known as multi-level inheritance. Okay. The next one is hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance means it's like your father's property is inherited by you, by your sister, or by your brother. Okay. So your father's property, but inherited by you, by your brother. This is known as hierarchical inheritance. Okay, first let me show you what is multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance means I said you are inheriting from your father, from your mother. That means you have two parent class and one child class. Clear? This is your parent class. Okay, two parent class. One is vehicle, second one is electric device. For vehicle, we have a constructor, we have a method. For electric device, we have a constructor. See, only the battery capacity I am taking as an argument and I have a display battery capacity method. Okay. Now I want to create a child class which will have the properties of vehicle and electric device. That means it will be vehicle and this is electric device. These are both of them are parent class. And what is the child class? That is electric car. This is the electric car. Clear? So now how can we do it? By writing electric car and pass both of the classes vehicle electric device because you are inheriting the properties of vehicle class, you are inheriting the properties of electric device class. Okay, now inside the class I have created its own constructor and I am passing all the necessary arguments. Okay, now first I have to inherit the constructor of vehicle class, so I have written vehicle.init self make model. I also have to inherit the properties of electric device class. So I have written electric device dot init self battery capacity. So inheriting the properties of electric device. Okay. So now in the constructor of electric car, I have also inherited the constructor of vehicle class, the constructor of electric device class. And I have created a display info method. Here also I have a display info method. So I am inheriting this method by giving the super keyword, and display battery capacity. This is a new method. So I am inheriting this by writing in this way, self.display battery capacity. Okay. So I have inherited everything from vehicle class and from electric device class. I have also added some of my own, that is color, self.color. Here I have initialized and now I am printing. Clear? So now my electric car, that is the object, electric car, that is the class name, and I am passing all the necessary arguments. Okay. First, the object is created. Init will be executed automatically. All the elements will be passed over here. Next line, vehicle.init. That means it will go here. Make, model. All this will be set here. Now it will come back. Next line, electric device.init. That means it will go here. Battery capacity will be set and it will come back. Next, color will be set here. Clear? After that, when you call the next line, that is my electric car.display info, it will go into this one here. Next, super.display info. That means it will go to the parent class, display info class. Here it will be printed. It will now come back here again. So next line, self.display battery capacity. So it will find the display battery capacity method of the electric device class. Now it will go here. It will print this. Again it will come back. Next it will print self.color. So you get the point how it is executing. Let me show it to you in Python tutor. First, vehicle class is created. Init constructor display method is the method. Next, electric device class, same constructor, its method. Next, electric car class, which extend vehicle and electric device. It has its constructor and its method. Next, init will be executed because I have created an object, that is my electric car. So this constructor will be automatically executed. Now self is pointing, that is an electric car instance, that is an object. Make is Tesla. I have passed all these values, model, color, battery capacity. Okay. Now it will go to the next line, that is vehicle.init. So it will go to this constructor. See, it is pointing to this constructor. Now make will be set, model will be set. See, it is set over here. Next, it will again come back to this line. See here the red line, electric device.init. So it will go to this init of electric device here. Now next line, self.battery capacity. So battery capacity will be set. See here, battery capacity is set. Now it will again come back here. Self.color will be set. So you can see color is set but return value is none. Next line, it will go to the next line, that is display info. So display info method will be called. So it will go here in the display method. Now it will go to the next line. Next line means super.display info. That means it is calling the display info function of its parent class. This is the parent class. So display info will be executed. This will be printed. Let me show you. Here it will be printed. See, this is printed. Now again it will come back to this line because super function has executed. So it will come back to 25th line. Now it will call the display battery capacity method. So it will go to the 14th line. Clear? Here it will be printed. See, it will be printed. Battery capacity 100 kWh. Okay. Now again it will come back. Color will be printed. Color will be printed. Clear? So now it is done. So this way you can also visualize the things to see how it is actually working. Concept is simple. You are just inheriting so that you don't need to start from the scratch. Practical example you can consider that you have an iPhone. iPhone 15 must not start from the scratch. Instead, it will inherit all the properties of iPhone 14 and it will add some of its own. Clear? Any model, any kind of version, any version of a new book, any version of a new car, what happens? They don't start from the scratch. They have all the features they had till their last version, and they are adding something of its own. Okay, so that you don't need to start from the scratch. Now the next one is multi-level. Multi-level inheritance. This one I said you are inheriting from someone. That person is inheriting from someone. Okay. So here vehicle superclass, car intermediate subclass, sedan as subclass. Let me copy paste first. Vehicle is the superclass. This is the vehicle. That means this is the grandfather. Now car is the intermediate subclass. Where is car? Here car is inheriting all the properties of vehicle, and then sedan as subclass. That means sedan is inheriting all the properties of car. See, vehicle is the parent class. Car is inheriting the properties of vehicle. So car is the father, vehicle is the grandfather. And now sedan is inheriting all the properties of car. Sedan is the child, sedan is you. Clear? So this inheritance is done in multiple levels. That is why it is known as multi-level inheritance. It is also simple. Just here I have created a constructor which is inheriting super.init means it is inheriting the init of car. Car is inheriting the init of vehicle. So sedan has all the properties of car or vehicle. Next, it has added something of its own. Clear? It has its own method display info, which is inheriting the method of car super.display. Car is inheriting the method of vehicle. Clear? And it is creating some of its own also. So my sedan is the object. Whenever the object is created, it will go to the init. It will pass Honda make, model Accord, color black, number of doors 4. Next line, it will call the super.init function. That means this one will be called. Here, make model color. This will be set here. Now it will call super.init. So automatically it will call this function. Here, make and model will be finally set. Okay. Now next, it will come back and mySedan.displayInfo is called. When it is called, it will go to this function. Again, there is a super. That means it will try to find its parent. So it will go here. Here again super. That means car wants his parents. So it will go display info. This line will be executed. It will come back to the calling code. This line will be executed. It will come back to the calling code. Then this line will be executed. Okay. So if you run it, you can see the output. Okay. You do it using Python tutor if you have doubt, but I don't think you should have any doubts. Okay. Now another is hierarchical inheritance. Here I have created vehicle as superclass, car and truck as subclass. Car is you, truck is your sister or your brother. Vehicle is your father. Okay. Now let me show it to you first. Vehicle as the superclass. So this one is going to be the parent, your father, vehicle. Next, car and truck as subclass. Okay, so car is inheriting the properties of vehicle, truck is also inheriting the properties of vehicle. Okay, so it's like this one is the vehicle, car is inheriting the properties of vehicle, truck is also inheriting the properties of vehicle. Okay, this is known as hierarchical inheritance. Let me show it to you here. Class vehicle, it has its constructor class, display info method. Car is inheriting the properties of vehicle by super keyword, display info method. Truck is also inheriting vehicle. It also has its init class and display info method. Okay. So if I create an object of my truck, a constructor of truck will be executed. That means this one will be executed. So in the second line, it will try to find its parent class. Parent is vehicle. So it will go here. Make model will be set. It will again come back here. Color will be set. Payload capacity will be set. Okay. Next line, display info function is called. That means this method will be called. Try to call it method always. It is waste if you always call it as a method, not function. Sorry for my mistake. Now this is display info method will be called. So display method is called. Now super dot display info method, that means it will try to find its parent class. Parent is vehicle. So this one, now this one will be executed. It will come back to the next line. So what will happen? If color will be set and payload capacity will be printed. Color will be printed, payload capacity will be printed. Clear? Same things happen for car also. Car object is created, so init will be executed. It will try to find its vehicle class. Next, its color will be set. It will come back. Display info method will be called, and the same thing will happen. So this is what all about inheritance. In simple word, you are inheriting the properties, and the way you are inheriting the properties are the types of inheritance. I hope there is no confusion. You just take a program, run it in Python tutor, everything will be clear. Okay. Bye. Happy learning.